Hey there YouTube, James here with another speed test, and today we have the Huawei P10 versus the Huawei P9. So our reasoning for doing this is the Huawei P9 did fantastically well in our big phone speed test of 2016, so we want to see how last year's flagship compares to the brand new Huawei P10. Now we're going to put this through our 8-app intensive speed test. This means we're going to be doing gaming, we're going to be doing 3D modeling, we're going to be doing video editing. We're going to put both of these phones really through their paces. We're going to hope the Huawei P10 comes out on top, but let's find out. So we are kicking things off here by playing a FLAC track through an app called Jet Audio HD, and both of the phones have already finished that, and we're on to our first gaming test of 3. It's Asphalt 8 to start with. There we go, the P10 has already finished and the P9 is just slightly behind, and we're on to Fruit Ninja 3. Now the P10 is finishing up with Fruit Ninja already, and it's on to N.O.V.A 3. Again, the P9 is only just behind it though. It's not storming ahead here for the Huawei P10, but it's still doing a little bit better. N.O.V.A 3 is generally the harder one to load, and we're also going to jump into the first level of this game. This is going to take a little while for both of these phones, we expect. The P10 has finished, and we're now on to Adobe Premiere, where we are going to edit a quick clip. This usually takes quite a bit of time on each of these phones. This is our high intensity speed test, so it's going to take a little bit longer than some of other speed tests you're going to find on YouTube. But the Huawei P10 is just finishing up already, and we're on to the next app, which is Snapseed. So we're going to edit a photo there. The P9 is still on that video editing though, and it's taking a little bit longer there. There we go, the P10 is finishing up with Snapseed, and the P9 is just jumping onto Snapseed now. And there we go, the P10 is finished. Now this is the hardest part of our test. It is an app called 3DC.io. This is a 3D modeling tool. This is going to take quite a long time. We've seen it on each of these phones. We've seen it on loads of different phones. This takes a long time to load. I'm going to talk a little bit about the spec now, because this is going to take a little while. So the Huawei P9 is running the HiSilicon Kirin 955 chip, while the Huawei P10 has the brand new HiSilicon Kirin 960 chip. Both of these phones are also running Android 7 software, and the Huawei P10 comes with 4GB of RAM, while the Huawei P9 only has 3GB. So both of these phones are still going with this 3D modeling tool. This is a really high intensity app. There we go. The P10 has finished up, and we're on to the last app, which is the camera. That's the end of lap 1. Now we're going to go through for lap 2 for the Huawei P10, while the Huawei P9 is still sat there doing the 3D modeling at the moment. There we go, the P10 is already back onto the second game there. That's the third app. And Fruit Ninja actually needs to load again. It's not cached it in the background there. That might hurt the Huawei P10's time a little bit. There we go, the P10's finished up with Snapseed already. It's stormy ahead now, and there we go, the Huawei P10 has finished the whole test with a time of 2 minutes and 27 seconds. While the Huawei P9 is having to cache each of these games again. Asphalt 8 is taking a long time to load there. That's going to be a major time sink for these phones. There we go, Fruit Ninja is loading again. That was the only app that had to recache for the Huawei P10. Now an interesting point on the Huawei P10's time is it only took 26 seconds for its second lap. That may sound pretty good, but the OnePlus 3T only took 20 seconds on its second lap, even though it took longer to do the test in general, while the iPhone only took 14 seconds. That's a really great score there. The P10, though, has come out with a really good score, considering the P9 is taking a much longer time now. We're already nearing on 40 seconds longer. It's probably going to be a whole minute longer than the Huawei P10. Let's find out. There's the 3D modeling tool. There's the camera. We're finishing up here with a time of... The Huawei P9 is at 3 minutes and 19 seconds. So there you have it, the Huawei P10 is much faster than the Huawei P9. Not a massively shocking result, but a 50-second gap. That's quite impressive for only a year's work from Huawei. Now we've only done this test with a few other phones at the moment. That's the OnePlus 3T, which was a good 10 seconds slower than the P10. And we've also done it with the iPhone 7, which was much faster than all of these phones. It only took about 1 minute and 15 seconds for that. You can generally expect that from the iPhone because it's got generally better optimization. So from me doing my full review of the phone, I was using it for a good solid 2 weeks, and I found that the Huawei P10 was good enough in everyday usage. But when we got down to benchmarking, it wasn't impressive at all. It was getting worse results than the Huawei P9. But I also wouldn't let that put you off. In terms of playing games, in terms of doing quite intensive tasks, the Huawei P10 will be able to do that. Now we have a P10 versus P9 battery test coming up for you very soon. Be sure to look out for that. And if it's already out, you're going to see it around my face in the coming seconds. Let us know in the comments below what other phones you want to see us run through both our speed and our battery tests. We want to know what phones you want to see. Thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you again soon.